Hello, and welcome to my channel. Let's just get this out of the way real quick. Logan Paul, you are a disgusting human being and should really stop what you're doing. Okay, with that out of the way, let's check out this video.
In October 2017, we finally had the chance to follow the story of an openly gay teenager for the new season of Andy Mack on Disney Channel.
And the crowd goes wild. Yay!
It is the first time that Disney is really going to talk about some LGBTQ issues, but queerness has been a part of Disney for a long time, and this is what we are going to take a look at today.
That's right, folks. We're queer coding Disney for the who knows how many times it's been done, and I'm getting really sick of it because they do it for the wrong reasons.
Make sure you watch this video until the end to know why parents wanted to ban Frozen.
I'm just going to take a wild guess here that it's something religious related. Like there are some religious people out there that are against this movie, right? That's my guess.
If you love Disney as much as we do, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up.
No! No!
Today, we are showing you Disney's long, complicated history with gay characters. Disney's history with gay characters is not as recent as you might think. LGBTQ characters have been part of the Disney family since only a few years after it was founded. At that time, the characters were not openly gay, but they were clearly queer, meaning that they were outside the usual heterosexual norm. The word queer can also be an umbrella term for the LGBT community as it represents lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgenders.
And here I thought it was slang for gay people. Thanks for clearing that up. Too bad I don't really give a shit.
According to Sean Griffin, who wrote Tinkerbells and Evil Queens, the Walt Disney Company from the Inside Out, and as reported by Harper's Bazaar, it was often possible to read queer narratives between the lines. As homosexuals weren't really accepted at that time, Disney needed to find a way to show someone who is different without making him too different. It all started with the short film Ferdinand the Bull in 1938. The 8-minute film was inspired by Monroe Leaf's The Story of Ferdinand. It told the story of a bull who didn't conform to the expectations of masculinity. All the other bulls wanted to fight, while Ferdinand just wanted to sit quietly under a tree to smell the flowers all day.
No, it didn't. The short was about a bull who didn't want to fight. He was a peaceful bull. He was basically a hippie before the term hippie existed.
Even when he grew up to be huge and was forced to fight in Madrid, he was too distracted by the scent of the flowers to do anything.
I love how you have to throw in that he was forced to go in there. I mean, have you seen the cartoon? Here, let me show you how he got picked out.
But he didn't look where he was sitting, and he sat on a bumblebee.
The sweet bull also had long eyelashes and many other feminine characteristics, making him really different compared to the other masculine bulls.
What are the characteristics? Where? I don't see them. Can you tell me? Or are we just going to continue with the video?
Disney won an Oscar for the Best Animated Short, so we can say that people really did appreciate queer characters at that time, even though they probably didn't even know what that word meant.
Because back then, the term sissy was used. And also, if the Oscars noticed it, how come they didn't give him the Oscar a while back from the Silly Symphony short Who Killed Cock Robin, in which a sissy Cupid was in it? They were nominated, but they didn't get it. So how do you explain that?
Then, in 1941, we also saw TheReluctant Dragon. When a boy heard that there was a dragon, he decided to meet him and quickly realized that this mythical creature was actually really nice. The dragon loved poetry and music and was also very friendly compared to the monster that the boy saw in his book.
A very peaceful dragon that does not want to fight. That's basically what the story's about. Something that no one would ever expect. A friendly dragon.
A knight wanted to get rid of this scary creature, but when the boy heard about that, he made sure that the man and the dragon wouldn't hurt each other.
Now how about that fight?
Oh, splendid! Quite. Fight? Fight? There's nothing to fight about. Besides, I don't believe in it.
But dragons and knights always fight.
That's right, by Jove.
You can't disappoint the whole village.
Not cricket, you know. Please,
While people thought that they were fighting, they were actually just drinking tea or dancing together. The dragon is a great example of how men don't have to conform to heterosexual standards or any masculine characteristic that society expects them to have.
While in the minds of real people, they see it as a non-violent dragon who was able to prove that he wasn't violent and therefore being accepted to the community.
People are scared of what they don't know, and The Reluctant Dragon showed them that unique people could be really nice when you take the time to get to know them. It was a good story to teach children how to accept differences and not judge a book by its cover. Unfortunately, in 1930 came a code that was going to change everything about the queer characters. The Motion Picture Production Code, always known as the Hays Code, prohibited sex perversion or any inference, as reported by Harper's Bazaar. Films could only present correct standards of life, and nudity and references to sexual behaviors couldn't be shown. Just to make it even more clear that they didn't like queer people, what they considered to be perverse, like homosexuality, couldn't be depicted in any way. The code was seriously enforced in 1943 and had more impact during the 1940s. Since that day, any male character with more feminine characteristics had to be portrayed as evil.
And you leave out the most important thing as to why all this shit has been happening back then. Religion. That's what happened. Back then, people from different religious groups, like Roman Catholics or Jewish or any other religion, would boycott these theaters because the films that were being presented should not be seen. They basically told them, don't go see this movie. It's wrong. It's horrible. Blah, 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 blah. Not to mention that one of the members of the Hays Code, Joseph Breen, who was a hardcore Catholic, he would look at these films and basically nitpick these movies because of these things that they don't like. So you should blame them for it.
In 1953's Peter Pan, Captain Hook was a prissy dandy dressed in bright pink who liked to prey on young boys.
What the fuck?
It encouraged the stereotype that homosexuals are predators interested in children.
How the hell did you deduce that? Who contributed to this? Rowan Ellis? So a villain wearing pink and going after the kids is now queer? Oh my god, no! That's not what happened! He's a fictional character! Captain Hook was the guy who was going after Peter Pan because he got his hand chopped off! Wouldn't you be pissed off and trying to get that little bastard if you chopped off your hand?
Following this idea, filmmaker David Thorpe was interested in the gay voice that Disney often gave to villains. In Do I Sound Gay? Thorpe told Harper's Bazaar that some feminine characteristics showed that there was something a little bit off with these characters. It included Jafar from Aladdin in 1992 and Scar from The Lion King in 1994.
You think I'm gonna get my info from a filmmaker? No. If I want info, I'll get it from an animation historian, not just some random filmmaker.
For decades, Disney films have reinforced the stereotypes that gay men are bad because not only do they scheme and enact mischief upon the good characters, but they are also bad because they don't conform to cultural norms of gender.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
The filmmaker then started describing queer characters who are flamboyant, use flowery language, pay a lot of attention to how they dress, and have a very snobbish way of speaking.
So just by hearing their voices, you automatically think that they're gay. How? They're villains. They talk like sinister-like. That's what I hear, and that's what, everyone else hears. They don't hear, oh, this villain here, oh man, he is totally gay. And the man who did the voice of Captain Hook, Hans Conried, very well-known actor. He's also the same guy who does the voice of Snidely Whiplash in the Dudley Do-Right series. Do you think he sounds gay in that too?
This was a stereotype, and not all gay men are like that. But Disney still wanted to use this gay stereotype to represent the villains in many movies. This time, being different was a bad thing, and they had to teach children to not go too far from the heterosexual norms.
What the hell are you talking about? They're villains! Don't be bad villains! You're not saying don't be gay. What the fuck?
However, during this time, Disney still had the chance to sneak in a queer character in The Little Mermaid in 1989. Can you guess who it is? Some people said that Ursula was actually inspired by a drag queen called Divine. They made sure that the octopus was really born female in the film, but we still love to think that the character was inspired by one of the most fabulous women out there.
I hate to break it to you, Divine is not a woman. It's a guy. A gay guy. Who just likes to dress in drag.
Back to Disney's gay villains. You might be surprised that they still made fun of queer characters recently. In 2012's Wreck-It Ralph, we say another gay villain. While Ralph, the hero, was a really tough, masculine guy, King Candy was wearing a fancy outfit and lived in a pink palace.
Because he's a fictional character, he's a fictional king in a fictional world. Okay? Okay.
The character would quickly reply that it's not pink, it's salmon, as if it would be bad for a man to live in a pink palace.
That was called a joke. They made a joke. It was funny. Jesus.
It's not that bad, or we are used to seeing that. But then we were totally shocked when we heard Ralph call the Candy King a Nelly wafer. We understand that it is like a Nelly wafer, but when we look for the definition of Nelly on Google, we read that it means an effeminate homosexual man.
Now, the only way you could get that second definition to show up is if you click on that Show More tab. Otherwise, you would just see the first definition, which is a silly person, which is what King Candy was. He was a silly person. Oh, by the way, he's not really King Candy. He's Turbo in disguise, and he was crazy in the head.
How did Disney get away with that?
It was a joke.
There is clearly a homophobic slang in this movie, and even if kids don't know what it means, they probably won't be shy to use this word and hurt people who understand it. We should never tolerate the use of a word like this in a kids' movie.
Hey! How dare you use Picard in your videos? That's our job! We know how to use the Picard footage right.
Disney was more popular than ever in 2013 with Frozen. Don't worry, we love this movie just as much as you do. Elsa was a princess, or actually a queen, who didn't need a man.
Yeah, stupid bitch won't find men. What's up with her?
The only thing she was looking for was the love of her sister and the strength to accept who she truly was. But some people imagined another story when they heard her sing Let It Go. According to them, this story was about coming out of the closet. After all, she did talk about always being a good girl who wouldn't let people see who she truly was. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. These could totally be the perfect lyrics for a coming out. Many fans wanted Elsa to finally find her princess, even though we are really happy to see a queen who doesn't mind living on her own. But unfortunately, not everyone liked to see a character that could be queer in a Disney movie. Pastor Kevin Sampson called Frozen the work of evil. According to what he said on the show, Disney indoctrinates young women to be lesbians and also convinces people that homosexuality and bestiality are acceptable in our society.
Oh, God. Yeah, okay. Whatever.
He also thinks that people rejected their queen because they realized that she was a lesbian.
Holy God! He's worse than you guys! But yeah, he's a religious person. Any religious person or group would say that Disney's awful because of this and because of that. You can't win with these guys.
Catherine Skaggs, a Mormon blogger, also thought that Frozen normalized homosexuality. She wrote, "The words to Let It Go are clearly not Christian values friendly by any stretch of the imagination when understood and heard. This is not an innocent song with a catchy tune. It is rebellious. It mocks moral absolutes. It is careless." That's what Catherine said.
A Mormon. A fucking Mormon. You think we're gonna take a Mormon seriously?
And we think that if loving yourself is wrong, we don't want to be right. However, we think that they see gay propaganda in anything. Writers from the LGBTQ community even said that Disney probably didn't intend to make Elsa a queer character, but it happened, and we should celebrate it.
They probably didn't because it's based on a book, and they just changed it up a bit. That's all. They didn't say, hey, let's make this main character gay. I like that idea, let's do it! Give me a break.
If there is one thing that we don't like about the idea of Elsa being gay, it is that people assume that she's a lesbian just because she doesn't have a prince. They don't seem to think that a girl would like to be happy on her own, and if she becomes a homosexual, that's probably because a man is missing in her life. Moreover, they didn't even consider that she could be bisexual, pansexual, or simply queer.
One of these things just doesn't belong here.
We don't agree with this idea, and we'd rather keep this story like it is. As long as we don't know Elsa's sexual orientation, people can interpret it in their favorite way.
Why the hell would we care about her sexual orientation? It's a fictional movie! Based on a fictional book! Kids are gonna know that? They're gonna watch the movie, they're gonna see the movie, they're gonna be like, I like this movie, and they like the songs. That's it!
And that's what we love about art. Let Elsa be a lesbian if that's a good inspiration for you, but let her be single if that's what you prefer. It's only in 2014 in Good Luck Charlie that we really had the chance to see a lesbian couple. In this episode, Bob and Amy were talking about who was coming over for a playdate with their daughter, Charlie. Amy said that the kid's mom was named Susan, while Bob said that he met her too, but her name was Cheryl. Did they accidentally invite two different kids? We were all surprised when they opened the door and we realized that there were actually two moms who had a kid together. Disney knew that this episode could be controversial. This is why they decided to develop the storyline under the consultancy of child development experts and community advisors. And like Disney Channel programming, it was developed to be relevant to kids and families around the world and to reflect themes of diversity and inclusiveness.
Or it could just be showing them that, hey, people of same sex, they can have children too. course, not biologically, but they can still raise a child and, still be a family. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
However, not everyone was happy with this decision. The group 1 Million Moms wrote that just because something may be legal or because some are choosing a lifestyle doesn't make it morally correct.
Well, then just ignore them. It's just, I'll talk, shut up!
No matter what, many people defended the show, and Disney didn't regret their decision. 2 years after, in Zootopia, Disney did show a gay couple, but it was really subtle.
Oh, no, fuck no, don't do this. I like Zootopia. Lacey Green already ruined it with her reason. Don't you ruin it too?
In this movie, Judy's neighbors are really loud, but if you paid attention to them as they entered their apartment, you will notice that they were 2 different male antelopes. They are not seen together, but we can assume that they are a married couple as they live together. Moreover, in the film's credits, they are listed as Bucky Oryx Antlerson and Pronk Oryx Antlerson. When we look at their last name, it is pretty clear that these 2 are married.
Or they could be just brothers! Holy shit, I can't believe you went this far! So because 2 antelopes have different body, fur, or hair patterns, they're gay! Holy crap, I can't believe this is happening. Has it ever occurred to you that siblings can live with each other? And they also argue with each other? That's very common. Has that ever occurred to you? No, of course not. They have to be gay. It has to. Because I say so. Damn you things!
That's not enough to shock parents, even though they shouldn't be shocked at all, but it is nice enough to show a little bit of diversity.
Who the fuck is shocked? I'm shocked that you deciphered this crap. That has got to be the stupidest thing you have ever said in this damn video.
In 2017, we finally had the chance to see a gay character in Beauty and the Beast, and that's not even just one possible interpretation. Disney really wanted to show more diversity. The director, Bill Condon, even said that he would see the first Disney exclusively gay moment in his movie. This gay character was LeFou, Gaston's best friend, or manservant. Bill explained that LeFou on one day wants to be Gaston and on another day wants to kiss Gaston. LeFou is clearly in love with the villain, and even if Gaston is not really interested in him, he doesn't reject him either.
Has it ever occurred to you that LeFou may just, look up to Gaston as like a hero? Because LeFou himself, he can't really fight back or, be tough and everything, so he looks up to someone and respects them. I mean, I've seen this trend happen in many cartoons in the past, like in the Looney Tunes. There's one cartoon where there are 2 dogs, one like big bulldog and like this tiny little terrier, and he's always like looking up to him and always like praising him. That's the way I see it with LeFou and Gaston. Not just that, oh, I'm gonna fuck him, he's so hot, I'm so gay for him. That's not what I see, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there don't see that either.
During another scene, Madame Garderobe attacked 3 men by dressing them up like ladies. 2 of them ran away, but another one really liked this look. It was great to see a man who was not afraid to show his feminine side.
That is called a joke. It's just an extended version. Of course, it's based on the 1991 animated movie, but, they added more stuff to it to make it funny. It was a fucking joke.
Later, in Beauty and the Beast, LeFou was also seen dancing with another man. It was really subtle, but we did see it. This is not a lot, but we are still really happy to see that Disney made an effort. But once again, some people thought that it was a step too far.
Again, it was a joke!
In some countries like Malaysia, people wanted to ban this gay moment. They said that it is only one short scene, but it is inappropriate because many children will be watching this movie. However, they said that they would screen the scene without this gay moment. Disney refused, saying that they wouldn't cut this scene and the first openly gay character will remain in the movie.
Malaysia, huh? I wonder why Malaysia would do such a thing. Could it be that it's one of those many countries that follow this thing called, Sharia law?
If you think that it only happens in other countries, you will be surprised to hear that a movie theater in Alabama wanted to ban Beauty and the Beast too. They said on their Facebook page, if we cannot take our 11-year-old granddaughter and 8-year-old grandson to see a movie, we have no business watching it. If I can't sit through a movie with God or Jesus sitting by me, then we have no business showing it.
Well, there's your first clue right there. Or 2, I should say. God and Jesus. Obviously, the person is religious. He's following his religious beliefs. Holy shit, how did you miss that?
But Disney didn't care, and they stood up for what they thought was right.
Okay, now in this next part, they're going to talk about the show Andy Mack, and I have no knowledge of it, so I'm just going to skip it for now.
We think that the next step is making a Disney movie with 2 princes. How would you like to see more diversity on screen?
If it has good writing, good directing, good casting, I do not give a shit. Alright? That's all that matters. Just make a really good movie. Get those 3 elements. You got yourself a box office hit. Or maybe just a really well-known movie. I don't know.